Hi folks, hope you're well. I've just been listening to some music, and again, certain songs, what they do. Well, one thing I understood, listen to that song "I Will" by Hillary. Good question. Let's see if it allows me to do this again. I'm gonna try and check. It doesn't allow it. Hillary Scott and the Scott family, "I Will." It's in the description. You've got it there. Go and listen to it. Because the reality is, if you hear a song like that and it doesn't cause you to have tears running down your face, tears of joy and tears of pain, pain because of where you were, joy because of where you are. If you don't understand that song, if you don't understand the utter and total importance of those 4 words, and how at some point in time God has brought you to that point of understanding it. Because that's the point. If God has brought you to that point of understanding it, then more than likely it's been a tough journey that you've gone through. You've not gone there easily. It's been tough. Okay. Not a problem at all. Yeah. As I say, all this, yeah. That's one of the things that will be evidence. Because you understand it. You've been through that journey, and certain songs remind you of that journey. Of course, for me, that song reminds me of a number of things. Yeah, certainly the early part of my walk, learning to walk as a son. Oh. Yeah, understanding that here I was, a baby again, not having any idea as to what I was doing. Yeah, knowing that this 8 months that I was on the stand for 8 months, knowing that that stand was important, but not knowing why. Knowing that maybe it meant that I'd be married to that woman at the end of it. Well, because I knew that with God anything's possible. Yeah. In the world, of course, someone who thinks that they're happily married, the understanding that within 8 months that person could be married to someone else, the world will say, no, that's impossible. Now, I wasn't saying I wanted that to happen. I was saying, do I think that God is capable of doing that? Yes. And I'm standing on that point that God is capable of doing it. Not that I want God to do that. Because again, if I was standing on I want God to do that, I would have to know this individual to that degree. I didn't. What I knew was what I saw. And what I saw was the potential of who that woman could be. And the potential was beautiful, but that wasn't the reality. That was only the potential. But I stood on that, and that was a time when my dogs, my family, had been taken away. That was a time that I've been broken, not just once, but twice. In huge ways. You know, my 2 worst fears had been realised. One second, Sooks. Stop washing. You're noisy. Shh. Quiet. I'm busy. I do some video. Shush. No more washing, Sooks, alright? So, yes. I say it was a time for me that was just horrendous. You know, it was awful. Both terrible and beautiful at the same time. Well, it was. It was terrible because, you know, losing my family, but beautiful because I knew I was walking into something. Because, you know, when I went up to LL, and saw that thing on the wall, that you have to love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, your soul, and love your neighbours also. I said, I can't do that unless I know who you are and who I am. And all the hate I had from my neighbours just went. It was like the wind just brushed it away. I mean, that doesn't happen, right? Well, the point of it is it doesn't unless God does it. And so I knew I was in something. And then I went up there a week later for something that, when I went up there, because, yeah, I'm not sure what they do now, but they were doing this thing where they try to get you to paint something. And it's like some sort of counselling session. And it's, it really is very much baby. I imagine they've been doing the same thing for 20 years because it worked once. Yeah. And I wasn't overly impressed with all of that. But then at the end, I was there waiting for, there was a service at the end. I was there waiting, and I've been thinking about the woman in church. Well, because, say, years before, Rob Heim had said to me, well, if you want to get married again, speak to God, ask God who this woman is, and write down the detail. And so I did. And the detail I wrote down was basically pretty much exactly the woman in that church. Exactly. Pretty much. Pretty much exactly what I saw on that morning of that woman in that church. Yeah. And, yeah. And so I was thinking about that. Then, as I was sitting there, I heard from God. He said, "You're ready." Now, of course, I thought "you're ready" meant that. I thought "you're ready" meant wife. Of course, at that point in time, I believed that she was single. I had no idea she was married. But "you're ready," I thought that he must have meant that. What else could he mean? There was nothing else I was waiting for all those years. It's only that. "You're ready." Well, it must be that. But of course it wasn't. No. He was talking about the journey that I then went on. Learning to walk as a son. That's what I was ready for. Which, of course, as I say, there was no way of me knowing that at the time because I've never heard of anyone going on that journey. I've heard of people going on the journey, going from being single to married. So, that made sense. But as I say, So a song can take you back to that. And as I say, "Thy will be done." Yeah. If you've not been brought to that point of understanding that, the true meaning of that, then you need to hope and pray that you go on that journey. Because that journey is immensely important. Well, if you want to be of God, then you've got to realise that. So you take care.